Now let's look at the truth of what's going on here with our border. It's wide open. And I'm sorry, has been wide open. Of course, it's not wide open anymore. Trump has brought the numbers down 99%, something unfathomable. I thought Trump would do a good job. And if I'm just being honest with you, I thought we would see a 90%, something like that, a 90%. I didn't think it would be almost zero. And the numbers now, I think they can count in the hundreds on a monthly basis, how many are entering the country illegally. I mean, it is. And this frees up. This is what I have said all along. This is so important. This frees up the resources at Border Patrol. And I've spent time with our Border Patrol guys. The more people know about Border Patrol, I think the more respect for those men and women they have. They do a tough job. Something like a third of Border Patrol are United States military veterans. Maybe 25% are Latino as well, Latino Americans. So this notion that that Border Patrol is in some way a racist enterprise, or that these aren't people that are, they're demonized by the left as though they're doing something terrible. They're rounding people up and putting them into these camps. They're protecting us. And as we see with this terrorist, I know that he's a visa overstay, but okay, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement is supposed to and should have gotten this guy out of the country. Now, I know he has claimed asylum. I think that we just need to have a shutdown of the asylum process in this country for a while until we figure things out. That's really where we are. And all pending asylum claims just need to be, maybe they come up with some very high threshold for it, but there are, and I know that's unfair too, right? Because there are people who need a place to go, but we're not the only place they can go. The more you dig into this, almost all of the asylum claims that are making their way through our courts are invalidated by one thing alone. And that is that these people came via Mexico. They are not supposed to pick which country they want to get to for asylum. It's which country they get to first where they can be considered safe. So if we were serious, and I think the Trump administration will be, but if the Biden administration had any intention of enforcing actual asylum law, right, think about it. If you're fleeing you're fleeing oppression in Indonesia as an ethnic minority, and you make your way to Mexico, you're supposed to say, hey, Mexico, I need asylum. You're not supposed to go, hey, you know what would be really cool? If I can make it to America because they're rich and they have a big fat welfare state. That's not how it is supposed to go. And so all of these people that are saying they claim asylum, they right on its face, we should be able to just say to them, okay, well, did you show me your asylum paperwork from Mexico? Wait, you didn't try to get asylum in Mexico? Why? Oh, because you want to just jump the line to go to America. And then that's not even looking at whether they have a legitimate claim of asylum, which they don't. Because there's not 180 countries around the world all have asylum seekers all coming to America, it just means that every country, pretty much. We don't have a lot of asylum seekers from Liechtenstein or Denmark, but we've got a lot of asylum seekers from everywhere else. Tom Homan is pointing out that this has created the Biden administration problem is something that is going to plague this country for years to come. No matter how fast, no matter how efficient the Trump administration border policies are and the enforcement mechanisms are, it is just mathematically impossible to fully handle and turn around just what Biden did. Think about that. If I said to you, the Trump administration's mandate is to return everybody who came under Biden in those 4 years illegally. Never mind everyone who came before Biden illegally. We'll put that to the side for a second. That number is probably too much. Just logistically too much. I'd like to think that I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. Because if we ramped it up and you got to 1 million deportations a year under Trump, which would be a lot. Let's say you get to 1 million. And these are real deportations. People are going to say, but Buck, what about in the 2000s, or what about in the 90s when we were deporting? No, a lot of that was people who were turned away. The illegal immigration, particularly into California in the 90s, was single adult males crossing the border, working, and then going back, and then coming back again seasonally. So, yeah, they were breaking our laws, but there were multiple crossings, and they were single adult males. Now it's turned into a lot of family units, women showing up with children, and they plan to stay forever, and they're from all over the world. What the Obama administration did to make the numbers seem much more robust than they were was, Border Patrol stopped you and just sent you back to Mexico. That's a deportation. Right? That was how we got to the deporter in chief. They changed the way that they. So if we got to 1 million real deportations a year, meaning people picked up from the interior, put on a plane, and sent to their country of origin, that would be pretty impressive. Okay, well, that's 4 million. You got 6 million to go. Here's Tom Homan. This is cut 10, just laying this out so everybody understands the scale of this problem. Play it.
We are going to be dealing with this for the next 10 years because of the chaos they created in 4 years. We're out there kicking butt. We're arresting a lot of criminal aliens. We're out there looking for the bad guy. And when we're out there doing that, we got protesters assaulting ICE officers. We got members of Congress all over the country going to ICE facilities, raising hell, saying this is their oversight responsibility. Where were their oversight responsibility when 10.5 million illegal aliens came across the border? Where's the oversight responsibility on releasing over 8 million illegal aliens to this country? Where's the oversight responsibility then? This is an attack on ICE. This is an attack on the Trump administration. We're trying to fix the damage done by Biden.
An attack on the Trump administration and fixing the damage done by Biden. So true. And I just think that we all need to understand it was a choice made by Biden and his team. It was not a failure of policy. It was the enacting of policy. They wanted the illegals in this country. They wanted millions and millions of illegals to pile into the country, to overwhelm the system. Rules for radical, Saul Alinsky, overwhelm the system. And then once you break it through overwhelming it, you can remake it. That's what they were trying to do here. And they got very far in that process. And we are playing catch up and then some. Even this administration, as dialed in as they are. But now we look at what about the fact that we were wide open for terrorist infiltration? We just had an illegal alien terror attack lighting Jewish people on fire in Colorado. We just had one. We're going to have more. There will be more. If you were a foreign terrorist organization and you just had access to the internet, you would have seen what was going on under Biden and known it is open season for infiltration of the United States. And this is why the gotaway issue is so problematic or so concerning for us. Because remember, under Biden, and I saw this with my own eyes at the border many times, they were surrendering at the border. It's not, I think the coast is clear, I'm going to make a run for it, and then Border Patrol is, coming after you in the pickup truck, and they're running after you on foot. No. That's only for the gotaways, which were a small percentage overall of those who crossed. Most people, they would show up. They would find a hole in the fence or a gap in the fence, or they'd show up at a port of entry or whatever. They'd say, here I am. I'm claiming asylum. Oh, okay, now we have to put you through the whole process. Now you get released into America. We'll give you a bus ticket. We'll give you food. That whole thing. So if you know that's the process, why would you make a run for it? You make a run for it if you happen to be in that category of you can't claim asylum because you're going to come up on that database and they know you're a risk, you're a problem. You're either a convicted murderer. And by the way, there were convicted murderers who got in the country anyway. But, you're somebody that could get flagged or somebody that didn't want to have any scrutiny on him whatsoever. This is cut 11. Tom Homan, the guy who I think knows the border better than anybody else on the scene right now. Here's what he says. Play it.
Why did 2 million illegal aliens pay more to get away? They could have paid half of what they paid. Cross the border, turn yourselves into a border patrol agent, get released that same day, get a free airline ticket to the city of their choice, get a free hotel room, get 3 meals a day, plus free medical care and work authorization. 2 million people paid more to get away. They didn't want to be vetted. They didn't want to be fingerprinted. Why? This scares the hell out of me. I've been doing this for 40 years. It should have scared the hell out of every American what the Biden administration did. This 2 million known gotaways scares the hell out of me. So I'm convinced something's coming unless we can find him.
He's right. And they're tracking him down as fast as they can. But it was open season on America for 4 years of Biden. And now we're trying to play catch up. And the Trump team is doing everything they can, but you could have never imagined that the Democrats would so grotesquely sell out their country and sell out our sovereignty the way they did for all of Biden's time in office. It's intentional. They did this on purpose. It's just sabotage. It's sabotage. And that's one of the reasons I think so many people have seen that the Democrats are a malignant force. They sabotage this country's border and our security. And we do not know the full consequences yet. And I pray that we never find out. But we have a big problem on our hands. This terrorist, this guy lighting people on fire, that's just the beginning. We're going to get hit again unless the people in charge now are able to figure out who's where and stop them. And maybe they can, but it is a big ask. And I know this business. I was in that business. The whack-a-mole jihadist business, I know how this goes. Sometimes you get them just in time, and sometimes you don't.